Welcome! In this video I will highlight some pancreas functions and connect them with the actual tissue layout. The pancreas is a gland which combines two important functions. First, an exocrine function which supports digestion, represented by the brown colored tissues. And second, an endocrine function which supports glucose metabolism, represented by the purple island in the middle. Now let's have a look at an actual pancreas section of a cat under the microscope and see how these functions are organized in the tissue. In this HE section you can recognize endocrine islands of Langerhans. For instance, this is one big island of Langerhans. Here you can see a small island of Langerhans and one over here. And you can see the exocrine tissue which shows as purple islands, called lobules in different sizes, like the ones you can see over here. And all this tissue, this purple tissue, which you can clearly see over here. They are separated by connective tissue walls or septa, which you can clearly see over here, and over here, and over here. They support the tissue and guide the vessels, nerves and ducts. You can clearly see a big vessel running along the septum over here. Exocrine means that the secretions are drained by tubes or ducts, whereas endocrine means that the secretions are drained by the blood vessels. As in other exocrine glands, the ducts can be inside the lobules, called intralobular, and this could be one. Also, you can find interlobular ducts, which are usually the bigger ducts. One example can be seen clearly over here, running between the lobules, called interlobular. And then they usually have a lot of connective tissue around them. Exocrine tissue consists of so-called acini, or berry-like clusters of cells around the shared excretion duct. If we zoom in, I can clearly show you one acinus over here, one acinus over here, and for instance this is also a nice clear example of an acinus. They secrete the digestive enzymes from internal granules, these cells. Hormones are secreted by the endocrine glands and collected by capillaries which lie in between the arteries and veins. Notice the differences between the large muscular arteries, for instance this is a big muscular artery, and the thin endothelium of the veins, which you can see over here and over here. If you compare this endothelial lining and the muscular wall, you can see that there's a big difference with the higher epithelium of the ducts. One big example you can see over here. The ducts collect the enzymatic pancreatic juice and empty into the duodenum. Don't bother about these strange onion-like structures. We don't have these pressure sensors in our pancreas, but the cat has. Now we're looking for a nice example of an island of Langerhans. Here I have one. It has no ducts, of course, and no enzyme granules. Specialized alpha and beta cells produce and excrete hormones like glucagon and insulin directly into the blood capillaries. And you can see some blood capillaries here in the periphery. In light microscopy, you cannot easily discriminate between these special cells. In this short overview, I gave you some pointers about the microscopy of the pancreas. Please don't forget the general difference between exocrine tissues, which secrete their products into ducts, and endocrine tissues, which drain their products into the bloodstream directly.